Well, hello, 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 everyone, brothers, sisters, and members of the Mechanicus. It is I, Dave, and today I am joined in the Cronus Expanse by the one, the only, the amazing Hogfather John and my child. Hello, Hogfather. How are you today? Are you ready to launch ourselves against the foul Xenos and the dancing dinosaurs?
Yeah, no, I'm ready to fight the dancing dinosaurs. My war against the dancing dinosaurs is a well-known and deeply chronicled event.
Awesome. So last time you helped me through the tutorial. This is my first time really playing Rogue Trader and finding out about its mechanics and lore, because I'm not actually up on the Rogue Trader lore, believe it or not, or anything like that.
Ironically, I am.
That's...
Like, you're the Warhammer guy, and but I know more about the Rogue Trader stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting sort of clash here because I don't actually know all that much about 40k,
Yes.
but I'm actually relatively put together when it comes to specifically the lore of the Rogue Trader tabletop game.
Oh, there we go. Yes, little man is coughing. Fake cough, of course. He's not actually coughing. He's just, pretending.
Really? Why is he doing that?
Not to get attention, probably.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no camera today because of little man being with me.
Yeah. And I'm not streaming today because it's a lot of effort to change all my streaming stuff to this instead of what it usually is, and then have to change it all back tomorrow. And maybe later if I decide to stream after this, it's just easier to record.
Yeah, it's understandable. He's a very happy coffee little man. He's deciding that my face and my blue light glasses are needing attacking. Oh, God. I think we're just waiting for you to load up.
Yeah, no, it's taking a minute. It's at 43%.
Oh, wow. So talk to me about the law of Rogue Trader, since we got a bit of time on our hands.
Right, we just hopped up tonight. There we go. It just takes a minute. It's specifically the Void Bridge, I've noticed.
Okay. So we got something about cargo management. Open the cargo management screen to learn more about the cargo on your flagship. The mount type.
You don't need to worry about that. I'll take care of the cargo stuff.
Awesome. God. He is very, very scrappy. That is a microphone, sir. You don't want that. Right, cargo.
Don't care for these swords. We don't care for these. We keep the sniper rifle, an axe. No, we don't care for that. Las pistols. We'll add those to the cargo as well. We've got some melter charges. Those are useful. Okay, there's that all sorted out.
Beautiful. Let's have a look at our not that journal. See what we got. So we got obviously the main storyline. What's that? Companion quests, errands. What? Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in this game. Do you want me to just sort of walk you through what's going on?
Yes, please. Why fight for Squeaky
Okay,
baby.
so you've got your main storyline stuff. That should be fairly obvious.
Yeah, main quests.
Then there are the companion quests, and it's just stuff for your companions, the Sister of Battle. It's basic RPG flop work.
Okay.
It doesn't actually affect the main story going forward. Well, sometimes it does, but it's mainly just tightening your bond with these people that you play with.
Okay.
And then errands. Errands are basically side quests, but sometimes main quests can be to do a whole bunch of side quests.
Okay. So it's one of those games where you need to do pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean you want to do everything anyway, just so you can get good stuff.
Okay. Rumors. Okay. And then contracts.
Okay. Okay, so rumors are stuff you will find out just as you explore the Cronus Expanse.
Yeah.
And then you can investigate these rumors to like try and find out like what the truth of it is. And this can have benefits or negative impacts depending on like the outcome. So it's very much like you pursue rumors at your own peril. Then you've got contracts.
Yeah.
Contracts are, as they suggest, they are contract work that you've taken as a rogue trader.
Okay.
So this is just stuff that you're expected to do.
Okay.
So it's like, say that you've like, okay, I've signed a contract with Bilious Bile, and he is expecting me to deliver 50,000 units of Billium,
Yeah.
that rare and noble resource. You have to source the Billium and then deliver the Billium to him, and then your profit margin will increase. And of course, your profit factor is how you buy stuff in this game.
Ah, okay.
Rogue trader.
I found the sister of battle.
Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled and she moves like she's a little on edge.
You say you have a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader.
Awesome. You cursed servants of chaos who assaulted the ship, took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the prodigy of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in the
Valancius.
Thank you, territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such souls would expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the road trader could meet with the orphans. I will meet with them. Sorry.
Yeah, as I recall, you're going the iconoclast route.
Yeah.
Which means basically you're the good person, and I'm not sure how well that's going to serve you in the world of 40k, being a good person.
Yeah.
You're welcome to find out.
I am BBW. This is Hogfather John. He is my brother in arms. Yes, upset baby sounds. He's a bit fussy today.
And he's his baby in arms.
I will meet them. No formalities needed. These are the children of the people who gave their lives for the Von Velasquez dynasty. My consideration is the least they deserve. So I guess we now go to talk to all these people.
Yeah. She's going to pass on our instructions.
Oh.
So this is Abelard. I'm probably going to take control of Abelard because I like Abelard. And he is he's basically your second in command. He's your first officer.
Oh, nice. He's called Hogfather John BBW. How are you doing today, anyway? Say hello to BBW, Hogfather.
Hello, BBW.
See, these must be the children.
These are indeed the orphans.
The motley
group.
Go for it.
The motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale.
I mean, with the power that a rogue trader wields, yeah, pretty much. You're good, awesome.
If I cover the non-dialogue and you do the dialogue.
Yeah, fair enough. Our infallible sister has been keeping an eye on these pups.
Abelard glances at the gathered children.
It is hardly the scholar Podolium in here, Progenium, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instructions.
Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing.
Brave ones, the master of the ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe. By the Emperor's will, greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valakas.
Valancius. You notice Infernus Master Heinrich Monteg standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze.
Let's have a look. To serve as a teacher in spare time. Gladly adjust the group. Smart the group. Address the chaperones. I'm the road trader and Lord Captain of this ship. Speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives to just cause and brought honor to the Von Banner and those of the Imperium.
Valancius.
Valancius. I'm going to keep messing that name up.
Alright, do you want to know how to sound it out?
Yes.
Va,
Va.
just like that word. Lance,
Lance.
as in a weapon. Cius.
Valancius. Awesome. I'll try.
The teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed by your speech.
Oh, no.
One of the scowling...
Oh, yeah.
One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly,
So what? What should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches?
Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she both wants to calm him and scold him for his impudence. I fuck up as well, David.
That's right. Oh no, Sylveon's found one of those monkeys.
What are those monkeys?
With the symbols and the crazy eyes.
Oh no.
Oh yes. So we can address the chaperone. Their compliment leaves much to be desired. I hope that they will mould into worthy servants of the house. Punish the troublemaker, put the rest back to their base. The ordinance over. You things to say them without fear. I will listen. Rest assured, you won't be abandoned. You'll be taken care of. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I don't think
3 is the most iconoclast.
Yeah, I think that one was definitely the most iconoclast. You and your friend talked to each other a few hours last night. We talked about the future. Fair enough, BBW.
The boy smiles grimly.
It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We keep slaving away on this ship until we drop and die like our foes, or worse.
I understand the grief and despair. It's not an easy thing to go through, but give their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship. For the Imperium do not speak of their honourable fates with anger and disdain. Okay. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there to took command of fort and repelled the assault as quickly as I could. But no war can be won without losses. You can strive to do what is within your power. Well, that's quite good. Strive the power to decide.
The rest of it's a bit heretical.
Yeah, so I am going to go with number 2. You heard the road trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium.
It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats, with Von Valancius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears the seneschal came prepared for any contingency.
As they would.
Love Abelard.
He's a tanky boy.
He is a tanky boy. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the boy.
Cool. That was quite interesting to have this sort of like interaction with like.
Yeah, there's a fair few interactions with the lower decks as the game progresses.
That's cool. Yeah, because this ship, it's basically like a city in space.
Roughly the population of Manhattan.
Yeah, and there's
about the square mileage of Manhattan.
Yeah. They're huge, these ships of the Imperium, and this is just one of hundreds of thousands. This one is not. They're normally attached to like fleets that work within the Imperial Navy, but because the road traders have special dispensation to allow to travel the galaxy. They basically operate as sole, what's like those countries within countries? What are they called? Principalities. There we go.
That is indeed the correct word. Or like a sovereign state under their command, under the command of the Emperor.
I suppose we better go and see what's in the Kornos expanse, and actually do some exploring of this far-reaching.
Right now we are in the Rykad system.
Mm-hmm.
This is just telling you what's on the screen. I'll explain a lot of this because I've already read this information and sort of memorized it.
Cool. Yeah. Right. So this is
okay.
where we are.
So there are 3 destinations that are connected to quests at the moment. We should have spoken with the other crew members quickly, just so we could collect some rumors.
Back to the bridge. So it's basically talk to everyone.
This is So I know that you're not used to playing CRPGs, David.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to everyone is a good rule of thumb. It's just like after every main quest, like main story quest, or every time you're done with a planet, just do a quick round and talk to everyone on the bridge, and just like make sure that everything's okay.
Okay.
And I think because the Void Ship Bridge is very detailed, that's why it takes so long to load.
Yeah, there's a lot there, a lot of models and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of quite high resolution models as well.
Yeah, because I'm used to normal RPGs where it's very obvious who's got a quest and who doesn't have a quest.
Yeah, there's nobody with like a big old thing above their head. A good rule of thumb in CRPGs is if they've got a name, they've got information for you.
Okay.
Whether that is information for a quest or just information that could help you further down the line. Because, like, say that you talk to a priest and, like, exhaust his dialogue, and then, like, so far down the line, you remember from that dialogue that, Saint Albion is worshipped in this part of the Kornos expanse.
Okay.
That is information you can then use. Abelard surveys you briskly but meticulously, as though he is inspecting you for shortcomings. Then he offers a courteous nod.
Lord Commander.
Lord Captain.
Captain.
You are not a commander.
No.
Specifically.
I'd like to know about my...
Seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself.
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis.
Abelard
No.
replies proudly.
Used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling. The essence of my life.
Okay.
I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium.
So you used to be part of the Imperial Navy. Nice.
I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy.
Never is.
Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue trader's personal capsule.
I must have made an impression on her.
It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is always to just hover over the highlighted words, because they will just give you more information that you might not have. Especially because you said you're not familiar with this particular part of 40k.
The Imperial Navy is far from easy.
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world, and which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue.
Just shows how much power rogue traders have if they can sway the Imperial Navy.
The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
So what just happened there is that you passed a coercion test.
Yeah.
Which is something that will just happen, and you will get different dialogue depending on whether you like pass or fail these like tests. And it's one of these things that just sort of happen. Like you asked a question, and the game registered that the game was like, okay, like what skill would be used here to like, gain this information? And they decided finally on coercion. If you go over where it says succeeded,
Yep.
you can see what went into that roll. You have a 30 in coercion, and the difficulty modifier was plus 70. You just needed to get under 100, which wasn't bad at all. So you passed.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Do you have any family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11.
Wow. How
My
old are you?
family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Dave, you need to remember that he serves on a void ship.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Simply traveling could end up with him many years in the future,
Or
and possibly the past.
yeah, the warp is crazy with that.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting.
Oops.
Utterly baseless.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
Of course.
You-
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain.
Okay, so Dave, please
I
read
am
out
ready
what
to
you're going
acquaint
to
you with
say,
all
just
the
so people
particulars
know
that
what's
interest
about
you.
to be
Oh,
said.
sorry.
Otherwise, the responses don't make sense.
Sorry. Hi, BBW. Who are the main players I need to be aware of in the Kronos Expanse? That's a good bit of
In the
information
first
to have.
instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness.
Ah,
Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium.
yes, we are.
They have been accorded special rights and powers.
Oh, yes.
They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda.
Okay.
Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
Be aware of those two guys. Got it.
So
If we
a
are
fun
to speak
fact.
of
never mind.
unclaimed territory,
Sorry.
which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector.
Okay.
The first is the Kazbalaka Mission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda.
Okay.
And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oh, they might be. good
They
to
are
get
willing
hold
to
of.
die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
Ah,
So
fun.
yeah, there are a lot of those. So fun fact about Kalagos Winterscale. He's actually a big rogue trader just in the lore. I'm not entirely certain about the rogue trader Chorda. I think she was like the Chorda family. Yeah, they're a thing in the tabletop. But I'm fairly sure that specifically her was an invention for this game. But Kalagos Winterscale, he's like as far as most people are concerned, he is the rogue trader.
The road
Like, he's the rogue trader. He was like the rogue trader that was on the box art when Warhammer 40k was just called Warhammer Rogue Trader.
Oh wow.
Like, he's pretty important.
Outline the situation in the Cronus expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Cronus expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
Oh, fun.
Until recently, the Cronus expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Cronus expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the expanse. And in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Okay, well, that's fun. That's all for now.
Why they're so
As you
powerful?
wish,
You don't
Lord
want to find
Captain.
out about Conrad,
Um,
the traitor who stabbed you?
nah, it's alright.
Lord Captain,
It's fine. Well, forget about it for now.
Yeah, we've been attacked by those dancing dinosaurs again.
Oh no, not the dancing dinosaurs.
Yes, the dancing
I'll
dinosaurs.
get the Lord. So... Ooh, this guy's important.
Hive.
The
Facts.
The corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you, not without difficulty. A servo skull whirls over his shoulder while fingers of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of papers he is holding, and he regards you with an attentive interest through the lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your lordship. Janice Danrock, at your service.
Oh my word, he has a lot of options.
We're gonna exhaust them all because they're all important.
Okay, remind me what it is you're doing on my ship.
As the High Factotum, my duties encompass anything that may enrich you and your protectorate. I see to it that suppliers deliver all shipments on time, that our partners do not weasel out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through toil for the good of the von Valancius dynasty. I also make arrangements to ensure that our holds receive less than thorough inspections by port customs officers, and I find buyers whatever you wish to sell.
So sort of like a quartermaster.
Yeah, he's your consigliere.
Okay. How did you come to serve the dynasty?
I come from Dargonis, your lordship. I have been a subject of your dynasty since birth and have always strived to be of use to the great rogue trader. Alas, it was not my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to me being 15th 15th in line for the title, so I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me in case there were people behind him.
Oh my god, that's a
In
lot.
case they attempt to shorten the waiting list at my expense.
Oh wow.
How were there people behind him? He's 15th in line.
I know, right? They were very busy,
Janus
obviously.
lets out an almost kindly chuckle. While my brothers and sisters scheme against one another, I studied the exact sciences and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest arts of the Adeptus Administratum.
Oh,
I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers.
so he likes books and accounting.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, and what was it like working with Theodora?
Oh, now that's I'm going to talk normally because that's doing my throat.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's a tricky question, your lordship. Do you ask it of everyone? knowing they risk losing their head should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed.
I wish to know what you think of our fellow crew members.
Keeping tabs on your subordinates, a wise move. Tell me who interests you, and I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Janris's eyes light up. He's obviously eager to speak his mind.
Okay, tell me what you think of the Seneschal
Seneschal Abelard Wiserian.
Yes, thank you.
Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Wiserian to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what method she used, but the results is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know, Lord Captain. Your Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit of your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passably whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on the old officer, I say, or alternatively, turn him into a faithful ally.
Okay. I like to hear your options of the former Masters of Whispers.
I hope to never see him set foot upon this vessel again, not even as a servitor, although he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. The factotum's bloated face grows stern. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain, and still, to speak candidly, I never really enjoyed Master Voigtber's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Conrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader, and his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner.
What do you think of our thoughts, Master?
Ah, yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family we used such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor which threatens to end us all. But I digress. In the brief time Tollyman has spent as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character, or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent, as is any Voidborn seeking to earn their master's affection. I believe you can trust in her loyalties and skills.
Awesome. I wish to discuss something else.
As you say, your lordship.
I wish to know more about the people who buy our plunder.
Of course, Lord Captain.
Of course.
Who interests you? Exactly. We most often deal with the followers of St. Drusus, the Explorators, the Casbala Commission, or, Emperor forgive us, the Fellowship of the Void.
I don't like the sound of that last one. My word. So tell us about... There's going to be a lot of dialogue, isn't there?
There's going to be so much dialogue.
Oh, God.
The Drusians still hope to bring the Kornos expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicine marked with your seal is a sign that the rogue trader himself believes in the sect's future successes. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians, and is most often seen in the Footfall's grand atrium. A gloomy fellow, but some almost believe him to be a saint. I'll be right back, I need to run something upstairs.
That's right. Tell me about the Explorators. Members of the Explorators' Kornos fleet, which has been roaming the Kornos expanse for a good while now. Omishire knows what they are hoping to find, but their acolytes regularly show up on inhabited worlds seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, and sniffing out Xeno artifacts. If truth be told, supposedly they want to save the ignorant rabble from corruption. A tech place named Opcom 22 does business with us on Fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks at the Footfall. Okay. Tell me about the mission people. Masters of the cold trade and moral criminals and not just crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken root in the Callus sector. Okay. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They are led by Valium Tokala, who recently appointed himself Liege of Footfall. Of course, he is a trusted ally of rogue trader Winterscale, but he will not refuse you. Another of the Emperor is appointed. If you wish to talk to Warhammer, look for him in his Liege place on Footfall. What is the Fellowship of the Void? A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies or can take awkward cargo off our hands without asking questions. Of course, there's always a risk that these scoundrels will change their minds and attempt to board us instead, but so far our macro Karens have managed to keep them in line. They say that Raza Kavala speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amagus on Footfall is rumoured to have her favoured haunt. Why are we giving away our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit from
them, of course.
Welcome back.
Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor tend to think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader himself. Drusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Kazbalika dealers and explorators. None will refuse our help in these dark and trying times, and there may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it.
Okay, let's change the subject. Oh, I wish to boast of my retinue with skilled fighters.
This basically lets you create custom companions.
Ah, okay. I'll leave that because that'll be
We're going to be using the canon ones anyway.
Yeah.
They're usually better.
Alright, cool. Is there anything else he did?
He can also retrain you.
Okay. Shall return later. Yeah, he had a lot of information for us.
He did. Who else is there? Oh, you could talk to Idris.
Where's Idris? Idris.
If you hold down tab, everyone's name will pop up.
Tab.
So if you just like look around, other side of the ship.
Do 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 do. She's not this side. Where is? There she is.
All right. Yeah, there you go. The tall, middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her eyes vacant as she rubs the implant at her temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Idria, turns her head towards you and offers a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you.
Tell me about your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You are a Psyker. Psykers are granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Terra?
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Oh, she's happy, isn't she? Where'd she come from?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Kornos expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
Tell me about, is that Lyra?
It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win, from poison to psychers. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me.
Okay.
But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
Oh, please finish your story about the first time you crossed the warp.
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door, well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, all right?
Okay, fair enough. What did you do before Sorry?
If you mouse over the little icon just next to her picture, you'll get the full portrait.
Ooh. There she is.
It's like a Eye of Horus type thing.
Heresy. What did you do before coming on the ship?
Tasty heresy.
I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes. I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain. Divining. Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me, for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue. And then they packed us off to serve. Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time.
Oh, bless. That doesn't sound like a good life.
Adira looks at you expectantly. Then, as though clarifying, she uses her hands to indicate a head exploding and laughs.
Fair enough. How did you end up in the Road Trader's service?
Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway. I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too.
Fair enough, continue.
As I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered the guards. Also, I could tell them my warning in full. So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty.
Okay, fair enough. Have you ever been off the ship?
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can, after some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy.
Thank you. Let's talk about something else.
Of course, Lord Captain.
No, I don't want to turn in more stories. What's it like being a psyker? Well, I'm a psyker. What awaits me in my future? Things are strange between you and Agatha, is that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
Did you know Theodore well?
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off that if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked.
Fair enough.
It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
I'd like to hear what awaits you in the future.
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Adira laughs, rubbing her hands together, and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face. Her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin, and your collar begins to waver ever so slightly, as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
Well, that's not disturbing in any way, shape, or form.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained.
Okay, that's not concerning.
Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion.
Okay.
A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. The chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master, or merely another beast in the pack of his true lord?
Okay.
The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
These are fun.
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Fair enough, I'll take my leave.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
So none of them were like...
So what do you think that was about?
Lots of fun things. Hounds remind me of like possibly some fun corn stuff. Yay! And the rest of it makes make no sense. I've never been good at interpreting things. Oh, I've leveled up. We've leveled up.
You have leveled up.
Right, what have we got here? Choose character characteristics. Also gets a basically an ASI.
Stat boost, basically.
Let's go
Yeah,
more
basically.
intelligence. Yeah, more intelligence, please.
You are a psych, that makes sense.
Yeah. And we get a thingy. So we got be smart. Anytime an ability test or talent uses fellowship bonus. Intelligence bonus for its higher. Okay. Bloody mess.
Honestly, that's a great one.
Yeah. critical hit that's tempted down to do double damage. Using a non-damaging ability or an ally grants the ability to reroll failed attacks, dodge a that's also quite good. Has more than 50% wound. Including enemies. That's not so good. I think be smart for this one.
It's a good one.
Right, we got
Everyone else is leveled up too.
yeah, one Machiavel and soldier. I'll go with ballistic skills for her.
It's a good shout.
5 more damage. Cover efficiency increased by 10%, 20%. That's not bad. Okay. After Sar deals damage to 3 different enemies, gains 10 plus 2 times ballistic skill bonus. Rapid reload, already have that feature.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Surge gains plus 3 agility bonus to critical hits chance. Enough bullets for everyone. Ooh, a second attack. Yeah, I think I'll take that. Our Psyker. She'll have this. She'll have more perception, and she can have unnatural luck. And then for your boy that you'll be controlling, what do you want?
Abelard.
You've got content, disdain.
Contempt is a good one.
Yeah, it's a content.
Let's see.
Easy
What's epicenter of slaughter again?
Whenever the warriors attack, they gain +1 stack of this until the end of combat. At the start of the turn, the warrior gains +1 temporary wound for each stack. So it's temporary wounds. And then
Temporary wounds is good.
and thick skin is +1 deflection.
Yeah, epicenter of slaughter is a good one to pick up early.
Cool, we'll get that. Toughness or weapon skill.
Toughness.
Beautiful.
Abelard is basically our main tank.
Okay, we'll take those. Right, we'll finally go and do some things.
Right. Well, have you spoken to Vigdis yet?
Can we just do some things? Please.
You need to speak to Vigdis because she has the rumors, and then we can do some things.
Oh, I clicked on the voice chip. I don't want to play with that yet. You know, we spent nearly an hour talking to people.
Yeah, that's a CRPG for you.
Okay.
And I'm probably gonna, and in the edit, I'm probably gonna skip over half of this.
Yeah. There's a lot of talking.
So much talking. Yeah, so just talk to Vigdis. She'll be able to give you like rumors, and so it's like maybe there's like something on an empty planet that you wouldn't otherwise be able to access if you didn't talk. She's really important. She is probably the most important person to talk to.
The most important person to talk to.
There's also the captain as well. You should talk to him, but he's one of those people that you only need to talk to like once or twice throughout the game.
Okay.
So just getting it out of the way early is fine.
Where is Ignis?
Vigdis should be standing at the base of your throne
Okie dokie. When we get
once
back...
this is loaded in.
Yeah, it's the problem. Keep going back and forth. It's like loading, loading.
Yeah. But then we'll finally be able to just like start fighting things, and you'll have fun with that.
Oh yeah, lots of fun fighting things. Right, where is my...
Okay, so if you just go south, she's the person, Boxmaster Vigdis.
Boxmaster Vignis.
He is like standing at the base of your throne.
There she is.
It's right there. A thin, pale woman stands out amongst the rest of the crew. There is a thick bundle of cables coming out of the back of her skull and disappearing underneath her ceremonial garment. And you can see the grate of quietly humming vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lord Commander?
Remind me who you are.
Voxmaster, Octavius Vigdis Suri Octa of the Tollyman dynasty. The current Voxmaster serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Voxmaster Septimus, who was my grandfather.
Oh, well, talk about keeping it in the family. What are the
She speaks like Siri because she's speaking through a Vox, which is basically a computer.
Indeed. What are your duties?
I am the ears and the voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels. We also ensure clean communications and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Voxcasters.
Awesome.
If you ever want to know what worries and concerns your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in the local networks after their watches, and what the leaders are clamoring about over shortwave Vox transmissions, just come and see me. I will satisfy your curiosity.
Oh my god. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything in interest lately?
Forgive me, Lord Captain. I have no information that will be of interest to you at this moment.
Your appearance is unique. You're a Voidborn, are you not?
Vigdis's Vox crackles with barely audible laughter. Don't you know, Lord Captain? Both of us were born in the cold vastness of space, but there are no 2 identical tales, just as there are no 2 identical stars. If you like, I will gladly tell you about the lives of the Voidborn aboard this ship.
Please, tell me about the lives of the Voidborn.
You're doing it now, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue, and I'm not a professional voice actor.
Oh, tell me about it. Same here.
To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sound the way bubbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. We are part of the ship just like it is part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny, others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel.
Okay.
Most of the Voidborn are members of a large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for certain aspects of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Tollyman dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty.
Okay. How do you find life on the ship?
Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its depths, and I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course.
How do others treat you on the ship?
We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten those people just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages.
Fun times.
Vigdis hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh.
Yeah.
I would have been killed during the mutiny had Idira Tlass not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn.
That sounds like that was a lot of fun. Looks like you're close friends with Ida.
Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corner of Vigdis's eyes, the only hint that the Voxmaster is smiling. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage. But you see, many consider Idira to be different. I am different, too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company, discussing regicide over a glass of Amasec.
Okay. Oh, little man has had a biscotti biscuit and is now very messy.
Except Adira changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Adira considers me her friend now. We used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her in my own way.
She really did care for her. Ooh.
Perception test succeeded. Interpreting the Vox Master's emotions based on half a face and a Vox-modulated voice is no easy task, but you managed to catch the undercurrent in Vigdis's words. The Vox Master is not merely saddened by her rift with Adira, she is devastated by it.
Oh, wow.
You have gained 44 experience.
From succeeding that test. Have you ever left the ship?
Oh, I did once. And it was dreadful. It felt like the massive blue dome overhead could shatter at any moment and fall, and my bones would be crushed by the gravity. Vigdis twitches her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Lord Captain. I would not trade it for even the bounty of 100 worlds.
I see. Let us return to business.
Do you want to try and do this test?
Yeah.
If you actually mouse... Please let me finish talking. My
Sorry.
could have gone back. Please. So if you mouse over where it said fellowship, you would have seen your like chance of success.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, this one is 100%, but it's worth weighing your options instead of just going for it.
Okay.
The Vox Master nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain.
Awesome. Continue.
You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roll through the ship. Even reaching the normally quiet corners of the vessel, when the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval.
This will be all for now.
I live to serve, Lord Captain.
Okay.
Okay, now before we go,
Yeah.
speak to Helmsman Ravor,
There he
and
is.
that's the last person we need to talk to.
Awesome. I found him.
But as you can see, you get a lot of XP
Hmm.
from just talking to people.
Okay.
And like being over leveled is probably for the best in a world as deadly as Warhammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscle. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman Ravor at your service.
He looks alright, doesn't he?
He did?
Remind me who you are.
I'm the Master Helmsman, Captain. Lord Captain. I stand at the wheel of this here tub, I mean your vessel, and bark commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I'm the one who stops us from running into asteroid or a disrupted gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void.
Ah, fair enough. Do you control this ship in real space?
I wish that were my only job. I have to steer through the warp too, but most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough, I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and don't kick up a fuss when no orders come in from the navigator's sanctum.
Fair enough.
Real space. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation. That kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor, the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way.
That's fair enough. Who are these idiots you're in charge of?
There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the Engineerium, voidsmen from the Arger decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I'd have every last one of them flogged. They need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape or else this ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll be going somewhere we don't want it to.
That's enough for now.
There you are, Lord Can.
You're not a Voidborn, are you?
That I am! Born into an Elmsram clan in the bowels of a charterist vessel. Studied the family trade until I were 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by the lower old scum. They spared the young'uns, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I were having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me, so I escaped in the crawlaways. And then I spent months picking them off, one after the other. Ravor stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm a Voidborn.
Please finish your story.
Ravor stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then I fled upward to the middle decks. That's where the auger operators took me under their wing. They have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there, you see. No one asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter. Then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Danrock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter.
I can see you're not a
Gregarious.
sort. Thank you.
Ravor's eye twitches, which makes the grimace on his face even uglier. Have I done something to displease the Lord Captain?
I'm merely stating an observation. On the contrary, you're the first person who's not tipping over themselves to lick my boots. That one.
The helmsman's perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? Well, I'm presently surprised myself you hadn't had me flogged for insubordination. Well, wonders never cease. He's slowly getting more West Country as we progress.
He is, I like him.
Ravor points at the cables around him. Connecting wires. Once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship, except in the bloody cogs messed up the wire's stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain.
Fair enough. What can you tell me about the other officers?
Good-for-nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take Janice Danrock, that high-born weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his scheme so they can take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him. Got caught by the Seneschal and ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less.
Oh, lovely.
The Voxmaster, another tolly man like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post. Said the Vox systems were damaged and the engineering had no contact with the other modules. How am I supposed to shear the ship? Collect the cogs report with the power of my mind? First officer was Aryan. I can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I ever met, he doesn't know a single thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him had to have words a few times before he left me alone. Thank the Emperor, Lady Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when it come to helming a void ship.
I like this guy. I really do.
Then there's that woman, what's her name? Lass. Lady Theodora brought her headlong wherever she went, and look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out that that witch was what delivered her to an early grave, just like countless souls afore. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on the ship, but some would disagree. They say she's friends with young Tollyman, you know, or at least she used to be.
Tell me, do you like anyone at all?
Raver looks perplexed. What kind of question is that? I like you, and Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? Ha! I don't want to die just yet.
I already know about the Voidborn because we talked to the thingy. I must take my
You might have something else to say about it.
Let's have a listen.
Ravor winces and rubs his head. Lord Catton, I mean no disrespect, but you do better to find someone with a knack for conversation like Taliman, the new Vox Master. I ain't the talking type. I just get the shit where she needs to go. Best let folks stick to what they do best.
Fair enough. I will now take my leave.
Lord Catton, Ravor acknowledges you with a nod and turns away.
Okay, so that was quite a lot of stuff. Ah! Why have you done all that from there? There's like a sister, we've already spoken to her. So let us now go do some stuff!
Now we can go and do some stuff, indeed.
Let's go do some stuff!
Stuff we are going to do.
An hour of 20 minutes of talking to NPCs. So this is sort of...
I only have like 58 minutes of recorded content, so I'm not sure how that's possible.
Wow. Okay, so we are obviously there. We've got a...
Yeah, the little green ship is us.
Scan is not required. That's a non-explored planet.
That is Rykad Majoris. You could go to that, scan it, and you'd find whatever's on it.
Okay. Same with that one.
Rykad Minoris is where we're going for crew.
There's
Right, the one that we don't know the name of is Rykad Philia, the prison planetoid.
Okay.
And then there's an unidentified void ship. Going to any of them with the quest icon next to them will progress the plot, so be careful.
Okay, let's go explore that one.
Rykad Majoris.
Begin scan.
You didn't find anything. But it's added to the worlds of the Expanse, and you get to see its tithe grade.
Okay, which is S111.
Mm-hmm.
A mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the blasted and standard template construction. This small industrial complex could be devolved in practically any world. However, in its principle, the Self-Clan assent to it will devote itself to mechanicals and sacred mechanisms, extraction of the road trader. I got 0 of them though.
Yeah, but basically this is how we get even more... this is one of the ways we get more profit factor.
Okay. How do I go backwards?
Oh, there's an X.
Just big X
in
at
the
the
corner.
top there.
So if you look at the top,
Yeah.
these are all the different resources you can get,
Okay.
and all of these resources matter.
People, provisions, chemicals, plate steel, mechanisms, promethium, weapons, xenotech,
So
adamantium.
say you get a mission, a contract
Yeah.
from the Mechanicum for Promethium. You could go to a planet that's rich in Promethium, drop one of your extractors on it, load up on Promethium, go back to them, hand off the Promethium, and get the extractor back. I'm relatively sure you can get them back. Not entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Urak 5, do you want me to tell you what each of the different planetoids is for at the moment?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, the unidentified void ship is a safe one to go to as well.
Okay.
So Rykad Minoris is the capital of this system. You'll get a machine spirit keeper, which means that you get a tech priest on that.
Nice.
If you go to Urak 5, you'll get a navigator. And I'm not entirely sure what happens on Rykad Philia, but there is also stuff you do there. It's like, it was a while ago that I did this.
Okay.
I'd suggest going to the void ship first.
Okay. Off to the other void ship. Traveling for space.
The Vox crackles to life, and her master helmsman Ravor addresses you. I thought I'd be done with him. What have we here? Lord Catton, it's not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in the local asteroid field. It sure is quiet, like it's huddled up there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. That thing is more scrap heap than ship at this point. Somebody sure went to town on it. We're registering critical damage to hull and depressurization of several compartments. Oh, there's an incoming transmission now, too.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hear us. The Vox transmission hisses and abruptly cuts static. Do not require... Pete, do not require assistance.
Okay. Copy the Vox.
Copy.
Sorry.
The Vox relays a different voice. Keep following, they'll pass us by, won't they? Emperor protects. Lord Captain, I'm told Jorgers can't determine the allegiance of the vessel. To be brief, there is an unidentified and badly damaged vessel within an asteroid field near the Rykadi Philia colony that is refusing help, which, not to put too fine a point on it, has not yet been offered to them.
Can we establish communication?
Yes, Lord Captain, the connection is established. Unknown vessel, we are receiving you. Identify yourself. I repeat, identify yourselves. For a brief moment, the Vox only hisses and snaps, and then several voices at once start shouting over one another. Don't tell them! Don't tell! Tell him! We're done for!
Oh dear.
This is Thunderfang. We are... One of the voices falters uncertainly and is replaced by another. A merchant vessel. Do you copy? We are a private shunt vessel.
Oh dear.
A merchant vessel, of course they are. Damn my stupid head. Now, where did I hear that name before? Thunderfang.
Damage report, please.
Damage report, that's a good one. Telemetry shows multiple hull breaches, most likely caused by the guns of a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air, the bridge has been almost completely obliterated, 2 of the engines are critically damaged. Somebody gave him a thrashing so solid they barely managed to limp away.
Damn. Thunderfang. We cannot identify you. Yeah.
You can make out hoarse and furious whispering over the crackling of the status. Why? I don't know. What if... Certainly not. The whispering dies and a clear, youthful voice cuts through the static. Our vessel is badly damaged. Damaged is preventing correct identification. We assure you. Eastful merchant vessel. Thunderfang does not require aid.
It's badly damaged. What happened to you?
The Vox responds by bursting into a cacophony of sounds, words, and emotions. Someone chuckles bitterly, another swears with some foul expletives, and yet another hisses, furiously demanding that the others shut up. You manage to make out little from all this noise.
Oh dear, this sounds like a really organized ship, not.
We were just flying, minding our own business. Straight out of the blue, open fire. Miracle we could get away, Emperor protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. Our folks are left without a ship. We never got to them.
Okay. Now stop playing games and explain again your business here, and this time highly recommend the truth.
Happy now? What have you done? Idiot. It's too late now. The Vox channel is again filled with the angry whispering of several voices.
Oh dear.
The whispers and static are drowned out by a clear and slightly frightened voice. Do you copy? We are from the Fellow of the Void. We did not come here to loot. On a different business. To help our own. Out of jail. Do not hurt. Please. We have already had our Kronos cleaned. How about striking a deal? Our hold is full of goods.
Okay.
In case you're unaware, Captain, the Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assembly of several dozen pirate factions here in the Kronos expanse. They consider themselves above regular heretics solely because they sometimes have Vox conversations with those who are about to board. Were it to me, I'd make them eat a salvo from the macro cannons to shake the scum loose from the decks. They certainly deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
The honeyed voice of the high factotum interrupts the translation with a polite cough. I would wait on destroying the vessel if I were you. Although the moral aspects of their livelihood do cause some awkward question, the Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of goods to the local market. Perhaps you will find dealing with them acceptable, especially in the situation where performing a warp jump is impossible.
Commercial exchange, or I wouldn't want to blow them up. So let's do that one. Prepare for exchange. Wait, what the hell have I got?
So you have a profit factor of 10. You can buy basically anything under that and you have a reputation of 0 with them.
Okay.
With your current profit factor, you can basically buy everything available.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some heavy leather armor, which is it's a bit tougher than your armored body glove, but it does give you like a dodge penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'd equip this to Adelard.
Yeah.
You got a flamer, not heavy flamer, just regular flamer.
Oh.
Got a camouflage robe,
Yeah.
which increases ranged attacks decrease their target's dodge by -5%.
That's not bad.
It does not stack. And of course, there's melter charges,
Let's get.
which they're basically bombs.
Let's get the flamer.
And you'll notice that your profit factor didn't go down, so you can just get everything here.
Oh, that's cool. Get everything then. There we go.
And if we go to reputation,
Yep.
we can see how much each of these things will increase our reputation by.
Okay.
To do that, though, we need a full one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, miscellaneous items will not increase our reputation by much, but heretic trophies and Xeno artifacts will increase it by like a third.
Yeah.
So it's just worth like remembering who wants what when you're just sort of running around.
And this is all our cargo.
Yeah, and that's like all the cargo. We don't actually have enough to give them anything that they want at the moment.
Okay, we'll leave them be for now then.
I will say, like, melee weapon, like, the trash melee weapons and ranged weapons that you get build up a lot of, like, that trading stuff that you do.
Cool.
So, they are actually, they are supposed to be there to help a prison break over at Rykad Filia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's up to you where we go first. We can go to Urak 5 and get a navigator.
I think a navigator is probably the best bet, because navigator for the warp to make you travel a bit faster.
We can go to Rykad Minoris and get a tech priest.
I'm really chose. Sorry. The
Okay. I mean, you've not actually entered yet, so it's just a matter of like going. I'm not really wanting to do this. Lord Captain, reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilite continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Urak 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons floating in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to return the ship around immediately.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fun.
We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite House requires aid and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmissions.
Order the crew to scan the station.
Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and Vigdis's measured voice. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings.
Fun.
We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. Soon, the question remains, so, why are the esteemed Navigator's heralds ignoring us?
contact the station again. I will negotiate personally.
The Vox relays the cadent sounds of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I am sorry, Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person.
We'll not invade without first acquiring official approval.
Lord Captain, only the navigators are blessed with the gift of steering ships through the immaterium. Anyone would succumb to the nightmarish influence it projects on the crew and the vessel. To attempt traversing warp space without a guide is a fool's errand. Forgive me for intruding, Lord Commander, but I feel it is my duty to remind you that the Navis Nobilite are highly respected citizens of the Imperium, humanity's guides through the warp. The power and status of highborn navigator houses is akin to that of your protectorate. To aid them in their hour of need is to acquire an influential ally.
Order the crew to commence with docking.
Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigators. Blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path.
You'll take those guys.
You don't have a choice.
That's all I've got.
God Emperor.
Emperor protects.
So just in my head, the way a Vox Hailer speaks
Yeah.
is they just take like sound bites from like recorded stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
Sometimes it goes very smooth, but then sometimes you get God Emperor. Which just makes sense.
It does.
If they've got no vocal cords.
It's just a grill.
Just a grill. We've got a grill with a grill. Oh yeah.
We gotta grill it up, grill it on nice, cook it down and make it slice as we load in to the next stage of this. We may finally see some
Combat.
combat.
I think we're going to load in to see combat just in time to end, because we only got 25 minutes left.
Yeah, and there's a lot of issues at the moment I can hit, so we might have to end as soon as we load
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
I haven't actually seen this.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Wretches, you'll be consigned to oblivion for your transgressions against House Orselio. Immortal Emperor, deliver your servants from peril. Prayers will not help you, servant of the damned. In the name of House Orselio, I command you to execute the infidels. They're cheating on their wife?
That's a bit of a delayed reaction.
Not a step further. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet-black, unblinking eyes are watching your every movement, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. I always choose Abelard if you would be so kind.
Yeah, I think that might be the right choice here.
The Seneschal takes a deep breath. Before you stands his lordship, the rogue trader Dave Ivanhorn von Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Kronos expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that Noblite custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances of the station, his lordship, the rogue trader, is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once.
Ooh, go Abelard.
In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. There is a dangerous glint in the man's dark, shrouded eyes. Very well. Allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felic Christoph August, keeper of this place. So you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors. This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Urek 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list.
Let's go with number 4. What's happening on the station? Where do all these corpses come from?
Betrayal. A most banal thing in the life of the Noblite. Don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Urek 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear, by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void.
Oh, he's not a happy bunny.
Felic falls to silent for a few moments, then furiously slams the end of his staff into the floor. The madman have captured Lady Cassia, and are now torturing her upstairs while we idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time.
What kind of help are you talking about?
I would never ask for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Felic takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood, and winces in pain. And yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chamber, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered.
How do I remake the control rod?
I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priests ceaselessly perform the rites of appeasement, so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. That fateful hour is now upon us.
How am I supposed to power the elevator?
The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence, and the sacred mechanism will do the rest.
That makes sense.
You're so much nicer than me. So what have you decided, descendant of the von Valancius line?
The woes of your house upset the balance of power in the part of the galaxy. I help you, if not for your sake of profit, for the good of the Imperium.
Felix nods curtly. You should hurry then. We will stay here to hold the line and lick our wounds. Good luck, rogue trader, and may the Emperor's light be with you.
Okay.
I think it might be best to call it there, to be honest.
It is, because this is going to be fun. So next time, we will actually explore the
Navis Noblite.
No, that's not right, and find out what is going